Good morning, everyone. My name's Jeffrey Fowler, President and CEO of the Warren County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm so excited for you to be here today to learn about our Discover Portugal trip. We're really excited to be presenting this as a team, so I'll go ahead and turn it over to my teammate for just a second so she can introduce herself.
Hey everybody, my name is Ashley. I am the director of the Ashburn-Turner County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm over here in the little tiny box. And I'm so excited to be on this trip with y'all, and really excited to see what all Jeffrey's got together with this PowerPoint. So let's see.
So we'll get right into it. So I wanted to start quickly with why Portugal. So for those who don't know, it's one of Europe's oldest nations, and it's really known for stunning coastlines, some historic places, wine, really warm, hospitable people, and a mix of like old world charm and modern culture. And I can agree with that. We did like this as a test to see what we thought, and it really emphasized all of those points really well. For those who don't know, Portugal at one point ruled half the New World. In 1494, the Treaty of Tordesillas divided the newly discovered lands between Spain and Portugal, and that's why Brazil speaks Portuguese instead of Spanish. Below in the photo, this what we took. I took this photo from like a monument. This is the Monument of Discovery, which kind of talks a lot about Portugal's discoveries and how they sent many, many, many ships off. So, a little bit about the trip. So, it's a 9-day guided group tour. We're going to leave on October 14th, 2026 in the afternoon. It'll be an overnight flight, and then we'll land sometime the next morning. And we're going to come back on October 22nd, and that's a day flight. And everything that's included in this, again, is flight, your hotel, all your transportation, and daily breakfast. And this is a really nice small group experience. It's just very relaxed, it's easy. There is some walking, but it's not a lot. It was very manageable. You did not feel rushed. You did not feel like you were just going from one place to another. You got lots of free time, which is something that we really enjoyed. So where we're going, so we're going to several cities: Lisbon, Obidos, Nazaré, Batala, Fatima, Aveiro, Porto, and Cumbria. So this is like a full loop of Portugal and all the highlights. So let's start with talking a little bit about Lisbon. This is where we're going to land. It's the capital of Portugal, and this is the city where you're going to spend the most time. So it's built on 7 hills, and some of the highlights are the Alfama district, Belém Tower, and the Jeronim Jeronimos Monastery, which is a UNESCO site. So these are just some photos that I took. So the bottom right photo is that monastery that I was talking about. Across that bridge, you can see the Jesus figure, which is very similar to what they have in Brazil. And they built that to kind of showcase like their ties because it was kind of like a replica. That plane represents the first transcontinental flight. The pastry is a pastel de nata. I talk a little bit about food a little later in the presentation, but it's like what they're known for. And these are just more close-up shots of that monastery. Of course, we have the Lisboa, because that's how they pronounce it, sign. And then, of course, when we went, it was decorated for Christmas. So that's a very famous square. And then to the right is a castle that we went to, which is pretty close to Lisbon. And they have a tour for it.
That's in Sintra, isn't it?
Yep, in Sintra. It's a very short train ride. You can do a group tour to there, or I might go. So if someone wants to tag along, you could, Mike could go on an adventure with me. So, fun facts about Lisbon: it's the oldest city in Western Europe. It's actually older than Rome, Paris, and London. And it's really famous for those yellow trams, the tile work, and its riverfront views. Pictured there is a kind of a shot of the soccer stadium, which is in Lisbon, which is really cool. We took an Uber there and then did like a tour, which was really cool. Another fun fact about Portugal in general is it has the oldest borders in Europe, and they've remained pretty much unchanged since 1139. And it's one of the oldest nations that has really stable boundaries, which is just really interesting. To talk about food for just a second. So you want to make sure you try that pasto de nata, which you'll get given one, but I would recommend trying a few at different places because they all kind of taste just a little different. They originate from Belém at a bakery in 1837, and you'll actually go there. And Portugal's really known for its seafood, pastries, and wine. Here's just some of the food shots that I got. The one on the left is made with Gina, which is like a cherry liqueur. It was like a coffee kind of drink. And then we had some really good meats, seafood. I thought the bread was really interesting. They have bread with and without the crust. It's just like pre-cut. So, here we cut it off. Nope, there they sell it pre-cut, which was kind of interesting. So after you leave Lisbon, the next town you're going to is Óbidos, which is a medieval town. So it is a walled city with a castle. It has cobblestone streets. It really feels like you're stepping into a fairy tale, as you see in the photo. And it's really known for that cherry liqueur. And there's tons of little shops there. Great place to buy little souvenirs. I mean, it was just like, I don't know, this picturesque village just opening up as we arrived, which was really neat. From there, we go to Nazar, which is a coastal wonder. It's this fishing village, very famous for their waves. They can get up to 100 feet high, which is kind of insane. And it's the surfing capital of the world. There's people all over the world who go there to surf. And when we say these waves are big, they're humongous. And we're actually going at a time where we might see some of those waves because it depends on like weather conditions and temperatures and stuff. But in October, it is likely that there might be some. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's 100-foot waves. How's that safe? Well, their geology is a little different. So the waves actually happen farther out at sea. So they break in the water, not on land, like what we're used to, maybe in like um, the Atlantic here. We see waves come all the way in. Their waves break out in the ocean. But yeah, so hopefully maybe we'll be able to go down to that lighthouse area and see maybe some surfers, which will be kind of cool. Next one is the Valhalla Monastery. This is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is very Gothic. The tour guide will talk a lot about the different monasteries and what type of architecture they are. So this was built to celebrate Portugal's victory in battle. And it was really neat because as we were driving there, they're talking about, all the battles that happened and this, and then then this was built to celebrate the victory. Here's some photos of the cloister inside and just different photos. The stained glass makes really pretty lights, which is really neat. So it's just a really uh, surreal kind of place to see. So just a little side note, coffee is a really serious business there, and it's not like what we do here. So if you order a coffee, you're most likely just going to get an espresso, which is called a bica. Local drinks, a lot of coffee, very just quick, like almost shots throughout the day. They can do like Americanos and stuff. You just kind of have to tell them. They'll do lattes and different things, and Starbucks is pretty big over there in the large cities, so you can get your coffee fixed. I mean, I had several Starbucks. Probably the most interesting one I had was a red velvet Starbucks, which was cool. Okay, from there we'll go to Fatima, and this is another place where we'll sleep. It's a spiritual site, and it's one of the most important Catholic pilgrimage sites in the world. I also find it very interesting because this is one of the only like Catholic churches that was not built by um, like Rome. They built it locally. They raised the money. They made it happen. So it's a site of a reported Marian apparition in 1917. So just very brief part of the story. Three children basically said they saw the Virgin Mary. They saw her two or three times. The church really didn't believe them, but um, the locals did. So it created this whole experience because it's a whole like complex, and you'll just have to see it. And that cross on the top is there, so that way people who do a pilgrimage there can see it from miles and miles and miles away. From there, you go to Aveiro, which is the Venice of Portugal. It's known for canals, colorful boats. They have all different sizes of boats, which is really cool. And they call it the Venice of Portugal because it really feels like it. It's right on the water. You actually go on one of those boats. I actually took that photo while we were on one of those boats, so it's really cool. And they're known for this little tree, ovos moles, which is a sweet little egg-filled, like kind of I don't know what you call it, like a tart almost, and it's just about yay big. You just put it in your mouth, and it's interesting. I'd try it. I would recommend trying everything.
I liked it.
So from there, you go to Porto, which is their northern gem. It's located on the Douro River, and it's really known for port wine, the riverside views, and the historic Riviera district. And there is, I believe, seven bridges there that connect, and I think they're building an eighth, if I remember right. So there's all kinds of bridges, and what's really cool about them is like they're all different architectures. None of them look the same, which is really neat. And Porto has some really impressive architecture, beautiful churches, these, just really surreal views. So it's just kind of cool. And it's also kind of like terraced, which is really nice. I think it was the only city that really showcased that like really strongly. So Porto is actually what gave Portugal its name, and its wines have been exported worldwide for centuries, and it is one of Europe's most visited cities. So it's very much of a tourist stop, which is cool, and it's a great place to check off your bucket list. Also in Porto, and this is a place that I went, it's one of the world's oldest bookstores, Livraria Bertrand, and it opened there, and it is recognized as one of the oldest bookstores in the world. So once we leave Porto, we will spend the night there. We go to Cumbria, which is home to Portugal's oldest university. It's very historic, it has a very academic tone, and it's known for culture, the architecture, and also the student traditions. We got a good little cultural shock of that. The students running around, as our tour guide put it, as little Harry Potters, and doing their senior year things and freshman things. So and we also bought some like postcards, which is really cool. I don't have any. I did have some of them, but I think I gave them away. Okay, so culture and traditions of Portugal. They're really big on Beto music, which is like this emotional storytelling and song. There is a really great experience with that offered through the tour company. That's pretty affordable, so that might be something that you might be interested to. Course, the tile. Every place you go, you will see this really insane tile. None of them look alike. I mean, you can see some of it there. You'll even see how it's made. They're really big on this like cafe culture. So, like going to a Starbucks, yeah, there's one of the tiles. And just kind of chilling, like they do that to the extreme. And it's all about this like very relaxed lifestyle. It's very uh kind of what we do to agree. It's very much country life, very chill, very relaxed. They're not in a rush. Um, long meals, just very, very chill. It's a great, great vacation. Okay, so I'm gonna go over again a little more detail what's included. So this includes your international round trip airfare from Atlanta, 7 nights accommodation on a double occupancy basis. And we're listed at really, really nice hotels. And we've stayed in all of them, and I think they were superb, top of the line. The one in Porto even had like a balcony. It was in a nice little district. There was little stores nearby and restaurants. I mean, very cool. You always get breakfast at the hotel, arrival and departure airport transfer. So we'll get you to and from the airport. We'll private transportation on a deluxe bus. Our bus was insanely nice, great. You get everything that's listed in the like description of tours in Lisbon and Porto, and then any fees that are included in there. There is some optional things, but they're optional for like a reason. Like I'll give you an example: the Avera boat ride. It was like 10 euros, which is basically $10. And some people don't like boats, so it's optional. If you want to do it, cool. If not, you can go ahead and just start walking around the town and exploring and shopping and having a good time. We get an English speaking tour guide, which is great. Uh, she was wonderful, top of the line, best of the best. Her name was Thelma. I hope we get to see her again. We've requested it. We get a tasting during the half day Lisbon tour, and then all the air taxes, fuel surcharges, and any local taxes. Okay, what's not included? Anything that's personal, tips and gratuities. I mean, it is recommended you tip your tour guide, so bring a little cash for that. I can help you find a place to exchange it if need be, or you can do that at the airport. Your local city taxes applicable in Porto and Lisbon. So that's €3 and $4. So basically 3 and 4 per night. So that'll be like a total of like basically 16, $17. Luggage fees, and that means from the airlines. But there is a way to add it on if you ask the tour company. Mine was $50 a bag, so it's pretty typical. Any kind of transfer to get to the airport. So you got to get yourself to Atlanta or get yourself back. Now, I know, and I'm sure I know Ashley and them have been talking about it. With my group, are considering maybe doing like some carpool, try to figure out a way to get there. So, that's something we'll have to talk about locally. And then any items not mentioned as being included. So if you don't see it on here and you don't ask about it, write it down as it's not included. So you're not bringing your clothes, haha. Okay, and why travel with us? I think it's great to travel with the chamber, and I'll let Ashley talk a little bit about this. You get to see some familiar faces. You know that it's going to be a safe and organized trip because we're going in a group. It kind of creates this accountability. You really get this built-in community experience. I mean, we're going with two communities, so we're going to learn a lot about each other. This was my second chamber trip, but you always meet new people. You have, new friends. You don't have to plan any of it. You're told when to get up, what we're doing, how it's going. You don't have to think about it. And then for us, it's the local fundraiser. So we are making a little bit of money off this, which is great, and it helps support the chamber and the work we do. Ashley, you got anything to add for that?
I think you really summed it up. I just really want to, point out the fact that it is a safe, organized way to travel. We're all going as a group. We all get off at the airport together. We all get bused to the hotel together. But this one does have some free time. So I would say, and Jeffrey, tell me if you disagree, but I think they're about half and half, like half organized day with things planned and about half, free time. So you have time to explore and or just hang out at the hotel and take a nap if that's what you need to do to get over any kind of jet lag you might have. But I enjoyed the community aspect of it. We all get to know each other. You make friends and people notice if you've gone missing, which is always a good thing. And so like you said, it's just stress free. You don't have to worry about any accommodations or any arrangements. Everything's pretty much taken care of for you, unless there's anything like in your free time you want to do, then you can make your own personal arrangements. But a lot of people choose to, go out to dinner together, go to lunch together if that's what they want to do. So you're not obligated, but it does make it a little bit more fun to kind of get to know people, and it's a safe way to travel. And you don't have to be as nervous going somewhere new.
I think it's really important because, like we said, I agree, it's about half free time, planned stuff. But that really means in the free time, you get to vacation how you want. If you want a more
Hmm.
chill, laid back experience, hang out in the hotel, sit at a coffee shop, you can do that. If you want to go and see 50 more things, you can do that. First time I went, that's how I was. I wanted to see everything. Second time I'm on this trip, probably going to do a little more chillaxing. That's okay. You can vacation how you want. So, why should you go? I think this is a great trip for anyone who's never done international travel. Of course, if you're seasoned, it's still good for you, but I think this is a great dip your toes into Europe, feel really comfortable, see what it's like. It's not like I've been to Italy before. That was tons of walking. This one's a lot more relaxed. I think it's great for couples and friends who maybe just want to take a break, get out of the country, see the world. And I think it's good for anyone who loves history, food, really pretty views, and seeing all kinds of different landscapes because it never, I mean, it's kind of like Georgia. It did not look the same from the middle to the traveling to the top. So, okay, last slide. Limited spots are available for this trip. We can only take so many people. It's 23.99 per person, so that's double occupancy, so you got to find a friend. And if you want to learn more about it or learn how to register or whatever, you can contact me at Warren County. There's my chamber email. And then Turner County, Ashley, there's her email. And then, of course, you can always call us, look up the chamber, Google us, whatever you need to do. And if you're a Warren Countyan and you get to Turner, she'll help you set you right. And then vice versa. If you're Turner and somehow you end up with me, I'll send you the right way. So, anything else, Ashley?
Yeah, and I just want to point out, we are marketing this towards our communities, but if you live in one of our neighboring communities and you'd still like to participate, I know I've had a few my folks in Tifton and Sylvester, Albany even have asked me about they say, "Can we go? Can we go?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, you can go." And You just pick a community to sign up with. It doesn't really matter. Jeffrey and I are working together on this, so we're happy to help you either way. So we're excited for it, and it's going to be a great trip. And like you said, it's great couples trip, but it's also great for, sisters or friends or who, whatever, whatever arrangement you want to have. And if you need some help or you've got any questions, please call us. If you just want to talk to us about your experiences or, what to expect, or if you have any like more personal questions like, hey, what should I wear or something like that, feel free to give me or Jeffrey a call, either one, because we both have a interesting different perspectives on the trip. And yeah, Jeffrey's definitely a go, go, go kind of guy, and I was definitely more of a chillax type person, but there was some things I missed out on. So I think I'm gonna be a little bit more go, 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 and he's gonna be a little more chillax. It'll be interesting to see. But if you know Jeffrey, you know he is going to plan it out to the T. He's gonna have all the questions and everything. He will find all the answers for you. And so don't worry about anything. I put all my full faith in Jeffrey to figure out all the little minute details. And if you want to chill out and have a good vibe, I'm your gal. So that's what I
And
got.
I think you brought up a great point just about like clothing and weather and stuff. I'll say for the most part, and from my study of Portugal, it pretty much follows our weather cycle to a degree. It might have a
Yeah.
little bit of a variation, but so if we're going in October, it's going to be very close to our October. So just keep
Yeah.
that in mind.
I've answered that question a few times for people, and I would say whatever you would pack to visit Georgia, pack for what you will visit Portugal. And unfortunately, October is kind of one of those weird months where you kind of probably need a little bit of a lighter jacket, but you don't need like a heavy coat.
Yeah.
It might be a little cool in the mornings and in the evenings, but during the day it might be a little warmer. But yeah, the weather was almost completely like when we were there in November, late November, early December, it was pretty much even when it rained here in Georgia, it rained over there. So it was kind of interesting. So
Yeah. So so cool. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. This video will get uploaded to YouTube, so you can go back and watch it and learn about the trip even more. And like we said, if you have any questions, just reach out. Thank you so much. Hope y'all have a good day.
thanks.